I'm Charles Rice Gonzalez, and standing with me is Cris Izaguirre.
Hi, I'm Cris Izaguirre.
And we're two of the folks who were helping to put this together. That's the only reason why we're standing here. We don't have any special crowns or anything like that, or tiaras in this case. But basically, I guess all of us are here because we here to honor and celebrate the memory of Brandon Lacy Campos. And when we found out about his passing, several of us writer friends of his started just writing to each other and talking to each other and wanting to just basically get together and see each other and to share his words and share our words for him and bring our people of color writing community together to remember and celebrate him. So that's why we're here today, in case anybody was wondering. I just here, if you're smelling it, this is some frankincense we brought to kind of bless the space and bless the stage. And also in several different religious practices, some earth-based religions, frankincense is one of the scents that welcomes the spirits. So in this case, we have some frankincense to welcome Brandon. But this is one of the places that he used to do a lot of work. He loved Bartini and had his book release party here. Also had reading here and other events and stuff here. So we figured it would be a cool place to bring the writing community together to celebrate Brandon. There's a gentleman, an older, kind of wise gentleman named Vassilarakis. And he's kind of like one of these wise old men, and he's Chicano, and he's not just a wise old man. I mean, he worked for the Rockefeller Foundation. He's very learned. But one time he told me a story. He was saying that there was a young guy who was mourning his father's loss, that he had lost his father. He goes, "Ay, mi papá, no tengo mi papá más." Like, I don't have my father anymore, my poor father. And then Tomas told him, and he said, well, you know, as long as you remember him, as long as we speak his name, then he lived with all of us. So with Brandon and many of the others in our lives that will come and have gone, that will be, as long as we continue to invoke them, remember them, keep them in our memories and our hearts, they will continue to live in some way, shape, or form. So tonight we continue doing that activity. And I turn it over to Cris.
Well, thank you all for coming and for being here. The last time I was reading on the stage, I was reading a poem for a friend that I had recently lost, Julian. So Brandon's death has triggered those memories, and it's actually really hard for me to stand here today, kind of in a memorial of another loss. But a friend told me that, well, a friend of mine recently told me that loss triggers loss. So some of you, like me, may also be mourning other losses in your life when hearing about Brandon, and I wanted to give space to that. I know that there are people here who knew Brandon in many aspects, in passing, long-term lovers, co-workers, writers, organizers. Brandon was in many circles, and I, for one, knew Brandon as a fellow poet and lover of words. We didn't really have like one-on-one time, but I believe that my pain or your pain isn't any less valid. Loss is loss, and we've lost an amazing, complicated, wonderful warrior, lover, friend. I was glad to have Charles ask me to be part of this event and tonight to share memories of him with you. One thing I'd like to say is to please be gentle with yourselves. Please reach out to one another. Like one of Brandon's poems says, if we can't love and resist at the same time, we probably won't survive. So please love each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other. This is what we're here to do today, to take care of each other. And right now, I'd like to welcome up to the stage Manuel Rivera.
Just a moment to say clear words. I met Brandon like 3 years ago now in the Hispanic Panic series led by Charlie Vasquez. We share readings, performance many times. We had conversation. We changed opinions and thinkings. And the only thing I want to say is Brandon, God bless you. Blessing to you in your flight, in your next dimension. Light and progress by the Spiritistas, as I am saved. And God all the time gonna bless you. Thank you for sharing your talent, your performance, and your reading with us. Thank you. I'm gonna read a poem written by Brandon. I took the book randomly. I used to do that. I opened the book and randomly I take the poem like Bible or like any sacred book. And the poem is Mona. Mona. I remember her smile. I remember her smile can call each memory. Like her letter, like her phone number, the only one beside my loves that I have memorized. I remember the angel that walked in mother clothing, in a minister robe, in a sister's body, in a wife's spirit, in a friend embrace who cooked banquets, fed spirits, till they swirl with blessing, till they fill with hope. I remember the woman who loved me when I was too lost, too alone, too scared, too broken, too heart-worn, too heart-burdened, too wounded, to love myself. I remember the gift that opened her home and her heart, her family, and her life to a unheard boy who loved her daughter, who loved too loudly, who stayed away too long, who left a voicemail to say goodbye. I remember the teacher who dedicated her life and her body, her wisdom and her strength to tear down obstacles, to clear path, to build roads and bridge into brighter futures for Northside children that the world tried to ignore or throw away. I remember Miss Harris, the woman, the gift, the teacher, the bridge burner, the wife, the grandma, the sister, the mother, the friend, the angel that God called home too soon. God bless you, Brandon.
Hi everyone. I was really happy when Charles sent me the email and asked if I wanted to read tonight. And I've known Brandon for a really long time. We met at Creating Change Conference at the People of Color Institute, and knew his ways, his loud ways, causing trouble, and I loved it. And we had a lot in common, being Boricua, Native, poets, shit talkers, all that. He was a beautiful person, and we had QEJ in common as well. I was one of the founding board members, and he was the co-director. So I was thinking about what I want. The last times that I got to see him, the last times I got to talk with him, and one of the times was at a QEJ fundraiser, and then at Creating Change Conference again. And another time I was at the QEJ office because I came by to give him a gift. And if anybody knows me here, I'm a sex educator, and that's what I do. I talk about sex a lot. So I went over and gave him a gift, and that gift was a butt plug. And it was, you know, it was a gift for him, but it was also a gift in hopes that I could get Brandon to have sex with me. It never got to happen. I was really working towards Creating Change Conference this year to see if we were actually gonna fuck. Okay. So I was thinking about what I wanted to read. I looked in the book, and I figured I looked at his blog, and I saw something that just spoke, especially as a person who talks about sexuality and Brandon being out there and open about his status. So this is a blog post he wrote, and it's named Clean. UB2, aka fuck you, biatch. Pardon my French. I love saying that now that I have a Frenchy partner. But the next time you're posting an ad for a piece of ass or dick, wait, this is very tiny. For dick, that you're posting an ad for a piece of ass or dick for that ass, you post that you're clean and looking for clean. I'm sure you hope you mean that you have washed your ass in bleach and you're looking for something that has done the same. Because if you're using clean to refer to yourself as being HIV negative, then let me be as kind to you to tell you that connotative definition of your identity is that being HIV positive is dirty. Considering that I take at least 3 showers a day, I dare you to prove that you are cleaner than I am. You are very likely to be much more ignorant in ghetto speak than I am, but cleaner, I doubt it. Confused? Every single motherfucker walking around this planet is carrying some sort of communicable virus. Nearly 20% of everyone walking around is positive for genital herpes. And if you include your canker sores and cold sores, which is the same herpes simplex, yes, canker sores and the sores on your cock or your anus are exactly the same virus, then by your own definition, you ain't clean. And P.S., chickenpox is a form of herpes. Need more clarity? 98% of humans have some type of herpes simplex 1 or 2. 20% have genital herpes, and 50 to 80% have oral herpes, canker sores, which means, biatch, that you most likely do too. But I digress. Today, I reposted a great ad for Mr. Friendly's, an amazing human being ad campaign that is looking to fight HIV stigma. It was all about the word clean being used to describe people that are HIV negative. I had a note in my phone to write a blog on that word clean, and I have had it for months. That ad, about that ad, today gave me the motivation I needed to do so. I am clean. I'm very damn clean. I just took a shower, and if my own God said that it isn't want you to put in your, it's a typo, isn't what you want me to put in your body and makes you unclean, then what comes out is spiritually that no virus can possibly make me unclean. But your willful, hurtful, and ugly ignorance sure can piss me off. And don't get me started on these ads that are looking for bareback sex, but only with clean individuals. Lord, don't get me started. I have written extensively on the right of people to engage in natural, aka bareback sex, and I personally love it and have participated in it in an informed manner with harm reduction strategies. But HIV has nothing to do with whether or not the person is clean, nor does skin color, gender, religion, or any other category that has been over the ages been described as or segregated as socially and culturally dirty. You want an end to HIV? Then start with an end to stigma. And the smallest way you can do your part, besides staying negative, is by being an ally to folks living with HIV and eliminating word choices that reinforce ugly and hateful paradigms that scream out other, outcast, unclean. Seen those words before? Yeah, they have been used to refer to everyone from lepers to members of the untouchable caste. Every person from the cradle to grave is clean and worthy of love, and no one enjoys a monopoly on being pure as pristine. Your actions determine your spiritual health, not your HIV status, and surely not any other diagnosis that carries stigma. Clean? Yeah, I'm clean. Now, if you want to talk to me about my bedroom and the moving dust bunnies under my bed, then we can have a conversation. Check yourself, or I promise I will. Biatch.
Well, my name is Rob Vassilarakis, also known as Simply Rob. Most people prefer Simply Rob to Vassilarakis. Brandon. The word that keeps coming to mind is open. Brandon was so open and so free and so generous. And I really feel like even though I never really had much one-on-one time with Brandon, I really feel that through his work and through his posts and through his blogs and through his insanity that just came screaming through Facebook or whatever other medium that he wanted to use, I really felt embraced and and intimate with him. These beautiful people, beautiful spirit. May he rest in peace. Voices inside my head echo the things that you said. Voices inside of my head, inside of my head, echo, echo the things that he said. Awaken. By the frigid nip of a memory invading my dream, I stand to look down at the futon mattress on the floor. It was sometimes our cradle, other times a playground on which our souls intertwined would frolic, now a grave forgotten, in which the spirit of a love lost, a love left for dead, was laid to flounder. I feel a pull on the strings in my heart, but my ears never hear the sweet sound. Muffled by the voices that scream inside my head, I crawl back into bed and I try not to think about the day that lies ahead. I try not to think about the way we used to be, the way he'd look at me. I try and forget the pet names we called each other and learn the name of his new one. Wishing that I could lose myself in the bosom of my mother as if I were a child that from the world outside needs to take cover, but trying to explain the pain to her is just as insane as my inner child longing to nurse from her breast in vain. But if the truth be told, I miss the way she used to hold and soothe away my fears by stroking my forehead softly with her hand. And I miss the one that used to be my man. The bliss of his kiss is still remembered by my lips. Like a gymnast, my memory does backflips and lands feet planted firmly on the day I called it quits. I called him on his cell phone and then hung up, but then he called me back again. We argued a bit and then I said that this relationship must end. He said, I'll leave, and I asked when. He packed and then he unpacked and then he packed again. Ending the magic along with the misery of those days gone by, but does it ever really end? Does a heart that's truly broken ever really mend? Because a connection once created still exists, no longer love, but whatever it is, it continues to persist. When thoughts of him enter my mind, I clench my teeth, also my fist, and then I remember this. I sacrificed my heart to save my soul. Pulling the plug on what we shared, leaving behind a dull post to painfully fade away, forever frayed, forever cursed, for better or for worse. We prayed on that autumn day, for us each to find a way from which we both had strayed, respectively. I'm going to do one more short piece. It's called Mortality and Legacy. Unfortunately, I don't know Brandon's pieces enough. I don't have one committed to memory, and I will spit another one of my own in dedication to him. So Brandon, this one's for you. I used to have my whole life ahead of me. Now at best, my glass is half full and I still thirst. I thirst in the desert of what I have to show for myself, for the moisture of a purpose yet to be discovered. All I can do is spit. I spit to unchapped lips dehydrated. Because for an addicted, HIV-positive homo of color in America, there are already too many reasons to feel worthless. I fall back and observe shit. Judging y'all, judging me. Allowing myself to be taken to the places comparisons can lead. Depression is anger turned inward. So I write myself inside out. I write because it's easier to express than it is to feel. I spit about my pain so someone else can hold it for a while. You see, they mess with me the moments spent dwelling on my past, but I can't help it. I look back on a life full of uncertainty and lowered expectations. Thought out and impulsive choices. I swim in the ocean of my memories. I drown in the indigo of my pain. I am resuscitated by my refusal to die without creating a legacy to leave behind. As my virus and I walk hand in hand toward the dawn of our sunset years together, I wring my gut out in these poems. I wear my heart on lines reframed. I beat back my demons trying to keep them tame, because I no longer get high to escape my pain. Writing is all I have to keep me sane as the thoughts in my brain grind against each other louder than any subway train. The only way to lower the volume is by allowing them to speak through the ink. I'm not really crazy about the shit I've been writing these days. So I stab my soul with a pen. I puncture through spiritual dimensions and roll my ballpoint against the surface of lives past. Scratching them, I dig a little deeper in hopes that what bleeds will leave a profound sense of connection for the ones who listen or who read. More than just tales of intrigue, I drop jewels, while claiming my place amongst those witches, word players, and speakers of truth that have come before me, planting seeds of poetry, bearing fruits of inspiration for the ones who will succeed. My poetry is my legacy.